Good evening y buenas tardes, ladies and gentlemen. I am Jaime Barceló, and as chairman of the board, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the 67th FirstLight Federal Credit Union Annual Members Meeting. Thank you for joining us virtually once again. Over the last 2 years, we have experienced a world like no other and have truly witnessed resilience from ourselves along with our families and friends. We'd like to take a few minutes to share a short video recap of 2021. We hope you enjoy it. Please keep in mind that a virtual video may run a bit slow depending upon your internet speed and quality.
Well, I think 2021 was a great year for the credit union to shine. You know, COVID was still there. The credit union really has been able to help them through these difficult times.
We overcame all these obstacles and we worked together. We worked together as a team, as a community.
We know that there's challenging times and we want to make sure that we're able to assist where and when we can.
My career choice will be to become a biomedical engineer. So basically engineering medical devices and prosthetics.
We recently had the golf tournament that was successfully able to raise over $80,000.
FirstLight is being good to me. I started my first loan with them about $700,000 I believe. Now we're up to $10 million and it's growing.
Without FirstLight and our loyal customers, we wouldn't be at the position that we are right now.
I've been with FirstLight for 26 years and I want to say thank you for being there for me and providing all the business needs.
We just really truly care about all of our members, what they're going through personally, because we just want to better their lives.
Tenemos 7 consejos para encontrar el préstamo adecuado para usted.
FirstLight offered the great interest rate and they were able to work with me based off my circumstances.
If it wasn't for people helping us out in the community like FirstLight, we really wouldn't have what little we have here as it is.
FirstLight is just part of the community, and to know that we can rely on our businesses to help out the community is great.
The financial literacy program was designed to help people take control of their money matters.
So they really broke it down for us, and like whether it's loans or opening a credit card, how to make it beneficial towards you.
It's very powerful to feel accepted and live your truth. And so FirstLight has allowed me to live my truth.
Well, I think it's part of who we are. It's part of our culture as an organization to be more than a financial institution.
Some words of encouragement that I have for people who are dealing with cancer. So just keep your mind strong, keep positive, keep hope, and just keep going.
The problem that a lot of people in the United States don't realize that they're free because of us. The people that thought they need appreciation because we wouldn't be free without them.
I served in the U.S. Army and I served in the branches of infantry, combat aviation, and special forces.
We could never do what we do without the support from our loved ones, families, friends, and communities.
Thank you. Tomorrow we will be even better.
Thank you to the community for allowing us to grow with you, and we're about improving the financial lives of our members.
Teaming up with FirstLight and the plan behind what they're trying to do with the community.
FirstLight Federal Credit Union is announcing the initiative of Be One with El Paso, which is a fundraising initiative.
It has been challenging, but we've really found the opportunity to assist in many ways. And when you look at, once again, our mission and our purpose is to improve lives and achieve dreams. That's really what we're here to do, and I think we've been able to accomplish some of that in 2021, and we've been very successful in reaching into the community and also helping the community during these difficult times.
Once again, welcome as we reflect on our year of resilience. During the meeting, we will reference the annual report, which contains the meeting minutes, financial reports, and report of the supervisory committee, along with the chairman and the president's message. The report can be found on the credit union's website or the link within the meeting chat for your reference. Before we call the meeting to order, our virtual meeting host, Humberto Caudillo, will provide some instruction on the motions for the minutes and reports.
Thank you, Mr. Barcelo. If you are not familiar with Zoom, please note there is a raise hand feature that we will be utilizing for motions. Now, there's going to be an opportunity for you to motion by raising your hand and voting on those motions, aye or nay, once the pop-up appears on your screen during the different parts of the meeting.
I will now ask Mr. Carl Murphy, President and CEO, to give the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Lord, we meet today to conduct matters of business. We're grateful for the blessings we enjoy for our members and for our service members throughout the world. Help us to always represent all our members of our credit union fairly and to make decisions that promote the common good. We recognize our responsibility to the past and to the future and the needs of our members and the communities as well. On our efforts here today, may we act wisely and well. We ask for your protection of all our members, including the servicemen and women deployed throughout the world. Amen. Now I ask you to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
I hereby call the 67th annual meeting of FirstLight Federal Credit Union to order. The chair appoints Ms. Pat Aguilera to act as recording secretary for this meeting. Once again, I am Jaime Barcelo, chairman of the board of directors. We'd like to take a moment to honor our former board member, Lieutenant Colonel Billy Lewis, who recently passed. Please join us in a moment of silence. Thank you. I'll now introduce my fellow board members. Ms. Renee Jimenez, Vice Chair, Mr. Gilbert Tijerina, Treasurer, Mr. Carlos Guzman, Secretary, Mr. Miguel Cheng Guajardo, Mr. Joshua Orozco, Ms. Barbara Walker. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I would like to recognize Gilbert Tijerina, who has proudly served as a board member since May 20th, 1998. Mr. Tijerina will be stepping down as treasurer this year after 24 years of volunteer service to FirstLight Federal Credit Union. Gil, we sincerely thank you for your commitment and guidance provided to the organization. Best wishes from your FirstLight family. Our supervisory committee provides oversight of the audit function of the credit union. They are Ms. Sylvia Duarte, Chair, Mr. Ralph Adame, Mr. Gilbert Andujo, Mr. Jaime Medina, and Mr. Richard Holt. Our board advisory members are Mr. Rick Bernal, Mr. Ruben Garcia, and Ms. Marcia Heller.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to thank all the directors and members of the supervisory committee. They are volunteers and give their time freely so that your credit union remains a stable financial institution. I'd now like to introduce the members of the executive management team. We have Margie Salazar, our Chief Financial Officer. We have Judy Dejado, our Chief Lending Officer, Aaron Beldner, our Chief Information Officer, and Jim Huff, our Chief Retail Officer.
On behalf of our treasurer, Mr. Gilbert Tijerina, I will ascertain that a quorum is present. Fellow members, there are 44 members present. According to Article 4, Section 5 of the bylaws of First Light Federal Credit Union, a quorum is present. As noted earlier, the annual report contains the minutes of our last annual meeting, which was held on May 19, 2021. Mr. Humberto Caudillo will give instructions on how to make a motion.
Thank you once again, Mr. Barcelo. Utilizing the raise hand feature at the bottom of your Zoom window, we will accept motions from the first two individuals to respond. You're then going to see a pop-up on your screen for everyone to vote to accept the minutes. You will have 30 seconds to respond.
I will now entertain a motion that the minutes of the annual member meeting be accepted as written.
A motion has been made by Rafael Adame and seconded by Barbara Walker.
All in favor, enter aye, or all opposed, enter nay.
Voting has ended.
The motion is passed. The minutes are accepted as presented. 2021 was a challenging but successful year, and I am proud of the work our CEO and staff have done to help our members and our community while balancing the financial well-being of the credit union. Now I'll turn the meeting over to our president, Mr. Carl Murphy.
Thank you, Mr. Barcelo. I just want to thank the volunteers, management and staff of the credit union for their hard work and their dedication and all that they did in 2021 and their efforts here in 2022. Most of all, I'd like to thank our membership. Their commitment and their willingness to be served by the First Light Federal Credit Union and all that they do. So thank you very much to our members. If you've not already had the opportunity, as was discussed earlier, please take a moment and review the annual report as a link in the chat, or you can also find it on the credit union's website. I would like to take a few minutes and talk about some of the successes of the credit union in 2021 and in what we're planning in 2022. And I'd like to focus on three areas, but first I'd like to share with you some of our successes. We ended the year at almost $1.4 billion, quite a large credit union. We also ended the year at with 107,000 members. So we saw membership growth during the year. These members live in the communities of El Paso, Las Cruces, and Fort Bliss. We also implemented many services during these difficult times of COVID, services that supported not only our mission and our vision, but also our mantra of more than a financial institution. And so as we consider our mission of improving lives and achieving dreams, it's not just from a financial standpoint. We want to make sure that we are more than a financial institution. So I'd like to focus some of my comments on about three different areas. The first one really is member experience. We want to make sure that as our members come in and interact with us, that it's a wonderful experience. We want to make sure that they see us as a trusted advisor, that they see us as someone who will help them and guide them in their financial decisions. So some of the things that we have done in 2021 is we actually gave our members the opportunity and the ability to take more control of their funds. One way of doing that is through their debit cards and credit cards. They can now turn those cards off or on. If they travel, they can put in the system that they're traveling. They can also have other settings. They can set a spending limit and other things that give them more control of their funds, their finances. The other thing I want to share with you, we implemented a rewards program for our members a couple of years ago. And I want to tell you, I'm excited. Our members redeemed almost $500,000, whether it be in cash back, whether it be in loan reductions, ATM reimbursements, or refunded fees. Once again, $500,000 went back to our members. The other thing I'd like to share is, and many of you already know, but we were rated the best of the border credit union in 2021. What a great accomplishment, and we thank our members for that recognition. The other area I'd like to focus on really is making it easy for you to do business with us. And that's important to us. We want to make sure that you have easy access to not only your funds, but also financial advice. And so we're here to help you with that. If you remember, in 2020, we actually introduced the video agents, the live agents, where you can be on your phone or on a computer and actually do transactions and talk to a live agent. That has been very successful. We've seen those transactions increase dramatically. In fact, 85% of all our transactions that are done at the credit union each month are done through digital channels. In 2021, we implemented the online appointment to make it convenient for members that actually needed to come in and talk to someone and didn't want to do it virtually, and that's been a success. We opened a self-service branch at Texas Tech Health Science Center. That was to serve the students and the teachers, or the professors and staff and administrators at Texas Tech. That has worked out fairly well. And we've also partnered with a couple of agencies to do surveys for us. Many of you have probably received surveys about the service level, the business you did with us. Was it easy? Were you offered other products, et cetera? But we use that feedback in order to become better, in order to provide a better service, in order to provide additional products and services to you, our members. And then the last area, or the last thing under making it easy to do business with us, or convenient, is we actually went through a process we call journey mapping. But what it really is, it's us taking the perspective of a member and saying, okay, I'm going to open an account, or I'm going to do a loan. And you go through the process and determine how easy is it? What do we need to change in order to make that experience easy for our members? We went through that process last year. We started to implement a few things. We will see more items implemented in 2022 and in 2023, all with the intent of making it easy to do business with us and creating greater access for you, our members. The third area really is to become a community leader. Now, FirstLight's been in the community since 1955, had an impact on the community. But I think you could agree, over the last 15 or 20 years, the credit union has been much more visible in the community, not only from an advertising standpoint or a marketing standpoint, but more importantly, from a standpoint of supporting the communities that we serve. And let me give you some examples of what we do in the community. We have many of our vice presidents and branch managers and executives actually serve on local boards. They're passionate about those boards or those organizations and serve on those organizations. We participated in 87 community development and financial wellness initiatives last year. We actually announced, I believe it was a year ago, a little more than a year ago, that for every loan we funded, we would give $1 to the community food banks. So in El Paso, we would give money to El Pasoans Fighting for Hunger Food Bank. In Las Cruces, we were giving the money to Casa de Peregrinos. And so we provided over $14,000 in donations, which meant we provided almost 142,000 meals to local families in our area. Through our community foundation, we provided $15,000 to 19 individuals for scholarships in order for them to go to college. We've also created partnerships with USO and Fort Bliss and Texas Tech Health Science Center in El Paso, as well as UTEP. We are part of their banking academy, once again, in order to assist our youth in developing skills, both from a budgeting standpoint, but also preparing them to enter the workforce in the area of finance. So as we look at 2022, what are some of the things that our members can expect from FirstLight? And one really that I'd like to talk about is really focus on financial wellness. We all understand that inflation, you hear it every day, is over 8%. We haven't seen that in years, in decades. And so we need to make sure that you, our members, have the tools you need to manage through these difficult times. And so financial wellness, financial education, both for our membership and the community, is important. Beyond the partnerships that I had mentioned, we're looking for additional partnerships with different organizations here locally. We've identified a need for small dollar loans. I can't tell you the number of individuals that use pawn shops or other high rate lenders. We want to make sure that we're able to service our members. We currently have some of those small dollar loans, but instead of having to do a loan between 9 and 5 or 9 and 6, we want that available to our members 24 hours a day. And so we will be implementing that later this year. We are also implementing artificial intelligence. And what I mean by that is as you call through the call center, as you apply for a loan, that artificial intelligence will guide you through the process and will help answer questions for you. And we're excited about that. And we've rolled it out initially. We will be doing more in this area in the summer as well as in the fall. And so we're excited about that. The other thing we're doing that will take us a few years is we're really looking at the branch experience. With COVID, as I mentioned, we saw a big movement of transactions away from the branch into more digital methods, digital arenas or channels. And so we're looking at the branches and say, how can we make those branches, one, convenient, but how can it be more of an environment where a member comes in from a consultative standpoint? How can we help them? How can we deal with maybe complex questions, challenges they're having? So we're looking at those branches and determining how do we make those branches more in tune with what the members' needs are. And so you'll see us beginning that process in 2022 and moving through that in 2023, as well as looking at new branch locations. We have a few locations or a few areas that we're contemplating now and doing some research and analysis, and you'll see announcements on that probably either late this year or early in 2023. Really, with all these things that we're doing, it's really to elevate that experience for you, our member, to make it easier for you to do business with us, to allow us to be a partner with you, to allow us to be a trusted advisor with you, and to continue to be a community leader. Once again, I want to thank you as members of FirstLight Federal Credit Union. I speak for myself as well as the staff and management as well as the board. It's an honor for us to serve you, and we appreciate all that you do and want to continue to serve you as long as we can. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy. We look forward to all of those improvements and to be a better credit union. As stated, the 2021 annual report contains the credit union's official reports, the chairman's report, the president's report, the supervisory committee report, and the financial statements. I will now entertain a motion to accept the reports and the financial review.
As noted earlier, please use the raise hand feature at the bottom of the Zoom window to make a motion. Mr. Chairman, a motion has been made by Carmen Jimenez and seconded by Carol Erling.
All in favor, enter aye, or all opposed, enter nay.
Voting has ended.
The motion is passed. The reports are accepted as presented. On behalf of Renee Jimenez, Chairperson of the Nominating Committee, I will now announce the election results. The Nominating Committee selected 3 candidates for the 3 open board positions. There being no nominations by petition, the following individuals are elected by acclamation. I congratulate Mr. Joshua Orozco, Mr. Miguel Cheng Guajardo, and Mr. Jaime Medina on their appointments to the Board of Directors. Each year, we recognize staff for the outstanding service they provide members and their fellow employees. The recipients of the Employee of the Year awards go above and beyond in creating a positive member experience for those they serve. I would like to recognize our Member Service Employee of the Year from our Member Contact Center, who has gone above and beyond in her service to our members. Congratulations, Ms. Andrea Andy Archut. Our Member Service Employee of the Year, who has provided outstanding service to his fellow staff members, is Mr. Jerome Crawford. Congratulations, Mr. Jerome, the credit union's cybersecurity architect. I'd like to thank you for joining us today. This concludes the 2021 annual member meeting. Once again, the annual report can be found on the credit union's website. If you have any comments or questions regarding this meeting, you're invited to send an email to amm@firstlightfcu.org. Once again, that email is amm@firstlightfcu.org. I'll now entertain a motion to adjourn the annual meeting of First Light Federal Credit Union.
As a reminder, please use the raise hand feature once again at the bottom of the Zoom window to make a motion. A motion has been made by Christy Fernandez and seconded by Victor Rael.
All in favor, enter aye. All opposed, enter nay.
Voting has ended.
The 67th annual meeting of First Light Federal Credit Union is now adjourned. Thank you for attending and be safe.
We wanted to disclose that our chat feature was unexpectedly unavailable during our session, but we want to remind you that the annual report can be found on our website and also on the email that was sent out earlier today. Now, any follow-up questions, as Mr. Barcelo brought up earlier, can all be made via email and sent to amm@firstlightfcu.org. Now, we're also going to send out an email to all the participants with the follow-up information for your convenience. Once again, we thank you on behalf of FirstLight Federal Credit Union for your attendance to our annual meeting. Be safe.